close another. Oh my God. Well, there's some parrot here. Some red ramp parrot, which likes beeps, computer beeps. When he heard the beeps, he make the parrot make a sound. That's very funny. Let's close let's close and stop something. I need to stop the camera while recording because I'm recording some to the hard disk, and the hard disk is nearly broke. Okay, we are set. We are on the way. Well, I let me bring a pillow, and we are set. About the story, I was having some health problems months ago, more than a year ago, and I was searching for solutions. I was going to doctors, lots of doctors, and I could begin um, feeling how not they they are not giving a fuck about me, and they were not being empathetic. They were not interested in helping me. Well, I don't know how the doctors are in the United States. Right? Some people say they are better than here, but I begin being making questions about the scientific elite and the medical elite, and about the pharmaceutical things, conspiracies. I begin questioning this because I was suffering a lot um, about
Okay.
going to doctors. And well, when I searched for conspiracies, and I don't know if I was researching about health, but I searched about um, I remember now. I searching about um, try to remember the word, alternative medicine, and I found flat Earth. There was flat Earth group on
Uh,
Discord. That was very funny, and and then I found lots of topics, very interesting topics, saying things that I never heard. Well, all topics made by Brief Shadow. He opened lots of topics, and I was always interested in things we never heard, even though they are lies. The lies are interesting because the lies make contrast with the truth. The more lies you know, if you are wise, you can find lots of truths. So I think they are very interesting. Anyway, and now then I try to learn how this guy think, or why he says those things. Because I become shocked because it was different, and I always interested in different things.
okay. So you learned about everything from Brief, correct? When did that happen?
Yeah, I was
I
having health problems, and I become I told something, asked something about bacteria, and about full water, and fishes, sick fishes dying in aquariums, because I have some experience with keeping tank fishes,
Mhm.
and that was very different, very interesting. He was showing me very subtly, in a low key way, like I told here, very mysteriously, very secretly. I felt that he briefly was trying to uh, make me use my energy in making force to find the truth myself. That was very interesting. So well, I remember when I asked you, what kind of bacteria kills aquarium fishes? I, what kind of and he said that what's killing the fishes, what killing the fishes is um, poisonous environment. And I begin thinking about that, and I begin make some researches, and well, I found that that's that we need to pay attention, at least. Even though I believe in a bacteria or not, I wasn't disbelieving bacteria this day, but I was paying attention on about the toxins that
Yeah.
breathe normally like to talk. I remember we already told about here about fluoride and bleach, fluoride and other toxins. You know, I became interested in toxins. That's what happened, and that the interest, the focus on toxins is what the terrain defenders, theory defenders like me does. We're interested in toxins. That's how it happens. Interesting toxins.
Okay.
And
I have a.
well,
Sorry.
no, no,
No, no,
no.
you can continue. I'm gonna ask after. I'll ask after.
Well, feel free if you want to ask now. So you want me to
Yeah, but
continue?
it's better if I ask after for my own sake.
All right, all right,
Yeah.
all right, no problem.
I want to hear the best argument first before I interrupt.
Well, that was very interesting, and the focus on I felt that that brief was showing me that my focus should be on toxins, not microbes. For toxins, substances,
Yeah.
and I found that he was about the aquariums, about aquarium fishes. He was I found he was correct at first glance at some things, and nobody here would say he's not. Because I remember that the ammonia in nitrate can kill fishes, and this nobody negates this, nobody disbelieves this. There's no person that will disbelieve this, and I begin paying attention. Well, what kind of substances are killing the fishes, and we. I remember my father had an aquarium, not very well kept, but the fishes were live very well for 5 years without much much care, and they lived very well. But I remember that before that, when some fish die in aquarium, normally some other fishes begin dying. Well, some people could say, well, it's because of bacteria, etc., etc. But the fact is that when something dies on the water, uh, it begin decomposing, and the decomposition subproducts. One of them are the harmful ammonia in nitrate. And if you don't have enough oxygenation, it's more likely your other fishes are going to die, because one fish will die and the others will be intoxicated, and more fish dying, more toxins, and well, this you know how
Yeah.
where this will be going. So these are truths where everybody here agree with me,
Yeah. I
everybody
agree. I
here,
agree.
and I like to discuss the points that both people believes in order to attain the peace, instead of keeping pushing and smashing people disbelieves without using things that people already believe, and that's what I begin doing. And I found that pH is also important, and that excess you can consider. I found that you can consider toxic environment, wrong pH, not only excess of substance, harmful substance, but wrong pH or even wrong temperature. So I begin thinking, well, what about human body? What kind of toxins I'm putting inside myself? Uh, is it? And I found that you can keep fishes live until the adult, from infant to adult stage. If you get 20 fishes, will get only two will die if you put them on a nice tank. And wow, where are the diseases? Why fishes are not getting diseases? Where are the why bacteria and viruses are not attacking those fishes? This is very interesting. Where is the epidemic? I can foresee some epidemic, some pandemic on the aquarium. I was thinking about that. I think it's possible. It's not, I think what is not possible. What kind of bacteria I should put in those nice keep kept aquariums to keep those fishes, because also you have a 2 year fish that lives 5 years. He will not die until he have 5 years. He will not die, never die if the tank is nice kept without some harmful substances, well oxygenated water, well fed fishes. Nothing bad will happen. Why does not? Where is the pandemic on those animals? What's happening? I can see. I'm not saying that was the bacteria that bacteria doesn't when killing doesn't have the power to kill the fishes or something like that. But I never saw that. I never saw that. The only way to say to kill I killed fishes along with my father was with decomposing things, decomposing things on water, badly oxygenated water, or excess chlorine. Because you should let it
Yeah.
evaporate before you, or destroy the chlorine before throwing the water into the tank. That's what the only way to kill fishes was with chlorine. It's very difficult to kill some fishes without chlorine in a with a nice temperature. You just, well, just filter the water. Well, I was giving a focus on toxins and substances, and I think, well, I should look at them instead of looking at viruses and bacteria at first, because I've heard a lot about viruses, and we all hear a lot about viruses and bacteria since our childhood. And I was tired about that. That's what everybody knows, what everybody hears. Let's try to hear something else. What the weirdos, what the eccentrical people, controversial people have to say. And that's why I like it brief. And well, virus, bacteria. Well, what's happening? And
Mm.
I was beginning to think, well, I should study more about toxins. That's why I get from brief. I should study more about toxins. And I begin
Okay.
thinking, wow, what is causing my flu? How toxic is my environment? I will give you an example. Do you work with wood and you make lots of dust? The dust
Yeah.
can kill you. The dust can kill you. I found that almost nobody knows that dust can kill you, and most people don't know how simple dust can kill you. Now it's simple. Can enter into contact with your. I forgot that. About the lungs, lungs. See if a
Yeah.
piece of dust enter your lungs, and this is the will be the last resort of defense in our respiratory system, is the lungs try to expel this thing. Your body already try to expel the dust before it enters your lung. And well, if everybody try to find what's trying to enter inside your body, not not microbes, but even dead things or not living things that kill you, like dust. Dust is the dust is already dead, somewhat, the dead part of dust, because you know we have bacteria on dust. But what about the non-living part? What studying the harm, the how harmful non-living things can be to you. And I began, I was surprised and shocked how a simple dust can kill you. That's interesting. And people should think, well, what's is killing me now? A virus, a microbe that I've never seen in my life, or it's simple dust and CO2, and I not opening my windows, not ventilating enough, and the air is full because we make the air full. We respirate, we breathe, and we put bad substances in the air. We sweat, and the air becomes toxic. And when you throw all the old air out of the window, new air enters, and you are refreshed. And the bad air will be filtered by plants and other organisms, and well, it's renewed. That's very interesting, and that's what happens. That's what happens. And even if you don't, if you even if you believe in harmful bacteria and harmful viruses, you you yeah, you keep being much more aware if you focus on the non-living things that can kill you, toxins. That's very, I found very interesting. So I began so much focus on toxins that I don't care about bacteria, except that the fact that bacteria can help us. Yeah, the bacteria can help us. Yeah, for example, aerobic bacteria. If you don't have aerobic bacteria, then it's very difficult to have life on on fish ponds, on rivers. Well, if you don't have those bacteria, how you do? How can you have lots of fishes on rivers if you don't have, if you don't have aerobic bacteria? Where will be the oxygen, or probably the filtration source? We'll need lots of plants to make the filtration that aerobic bacteria does. And in fact, I made lots of researches here. I made a small laboratory here with um, some water pump and a little water fountain with some toothbrushes. We use that toothbrushes as bacteria colony. It's very interesting. Yeah, I had another tank with the same amount, almost the same amount of water. It was the same kind of water, and I throw some orange peel. I even have this experiment described, completely described on my Discord server. And well, the same orange peel for the same orange, from the same orange that I ate this day, and I threw the same quantity in both tanks. The tank with oxygenation became very with a very smelly water. The appearance was horrible. It was murky. In 2 days, it became completely opaque, and the oxygenated tank didn't show any kind of opacity at all. In well, it was very interesting. So what's happening? Why some water, small water movement? Why some small water movement is cleaning my water? Is it the mechanic of water moving? I well, it must be something here. What kind of phenomenon? And we if you buy a microscope, we can see that with some $100 you can buy a nice microscope and see this bacteria. That's very nice. You can see the bacteria alive. Bacteria alive. That's very cool. And without oxygen, you can see those bacteria. So they need oxygen. That's a logical consequence. The
Yeah.
bacteria. Well, and
Okay.
that's how things works. Uh, the brief told me that bacteria don't kill people, and I was almost I felt
Out of your chair.
I
You were
felt
surprised.
very wait well
Oh,
sorry.
sorry. I thought you were saying it's an expression. You fell out of your chair, like you were very surprised.
Yeah, I feel without gaining ground. I feel I thought, oh, what to do now? Bacteria don't kill people. What's happening? What the fuck is happening with bacteria? Don't kill people. Bacteria are good. I already know that some bacteria that nobody says it's bad. Some bacteria, like intestinal bacteria, mouth bacteria, that which scientists point as good bacteria. Aerobic bacteria, this one I said, that which everybody knows they are beneficial and they are needed. Those bacteria are needed. Some fermentational fermented bacteria which are good for the environment because they generate ammonia to feed plants and to help make some decomposing instead of letting things uh, letting um, detritus uh, keeping keeping using space. It's nice to ferment things instead letting letting them be uh, be intact. Things need to be decomposed. Lots of intact things will which will occupy a lot of space. We will need those decomposers, which is it's very nice. And I made some experiments with fungi, and well, this that was very cool. But brief, what about bacteria? About bacteria, and I asked him, well, why you believe that bacteria who what is happening? He said that viruses doesn't exist too. I asked what's happened. So what's happening? Um, I and he knew I was interested and he told me about a book. The book was Virus Mania, which is a very interesting name because people have are very afraid of viruses, and that name was very suggestive. So I've been reading a lot on those books, and I found that we have so much toxins killing us, and I begin the focus on toxins made me disbelieve about virus and bacteria and a lot because I was gathering a lot of knowledge about how toxins how toxic you can make your own body become, and which is something that most people believe. You can damage your own internal organs just by being anxious, by anxiety, just by getting irritated, and that's that's terrible. That's terrible, and you can make your skin. Sometimes you think your skin are having skin problems, and people think and people begin think about bacteria, and sometimes you just anxious, and your skin become dry and something like that. Your face skin become dry. Well, a little tired here. Let me think. Let me try to think. Well, I talking a lot.
Yeah, I know.
You
I was
can
just
ask.
waiting.
You can ask
Is that
anything. Why I try to remember why what I was going to say. I need
okay?
to remember. And you can ask anything.
All right. I have questions. Yeah. So I wanted to ask them. There's a Wikipedia page on terrain theory. Do you agree with most of the stuff, all of the stuff on there? How much do you agree with all of the things that are shown?
About Wikipedia, I don't remember much about things on this topic on Wikipedia,
Uh,
but
it's a little bit of paragraphs, like three sections on Wikipedia about terrain theory, but it's okay because that wasn't my main source of my main argument, and it wasn't based on that anyway. So I wanted to ask you, do you believe that bacteria is still something that can harm you, or are you like Brief, where he said bacteria cannot harm you and it doesn't exist, or something like that? Or do you believe it still does exist? What was the argument for bacteria?
well,
I'm trying to ask.
bacteria can be seen on they can be seen on the microscope, whereas the viruses can't you, you can't see a living virus on an electron microscope, which is needed to see things that are likely to exist with this size, and
Mm,
and the bacteria can be seen on light microscopes easily. You can buy a light microscope which won't take much size on your room, and you can have fun seeing bacteria interacting with plant cells and human cells or something like that. You can have some fun with lots of fun with light microscope, because some things are not needed to kill, in order to
yeah.
just put the thing there. You just put the thing in the microscope, and the way it is in you light microscope, and you can see bacteria, you can see human cells eating, phagocytating bacteria, see bacteria living or and dead bacteria interacting uh, with phagocytating cells. That's very cool. And
Okay.
I don't know if
So
bacteria can kill. Your question is if I believe bacteria can kill people, right?
yes, yes.
Well, I won't say 100% sure that it's impossible to a bacteria to to be harmful to you, but
Mm,
most bacteria I could study. No, there's I I think most bacteria I could study would can't be harmful in a natural way, like um, like feces bacteria, like bacteria on urine, bacteria on the earth ground, bacteria on wow, bacteria on earth, bacteria on people's skin. I can see how this they can be harmful. I can't I don't can see how this can be naturally harmful. But I know that some bacteria make some bacteria are very well known for being chemical converters. They are living chemical converters. They are very interesting. Bacteria are very interesting. Like I said
Mhm.
about an anaerobic bacteria, you just give them oxygen, and they some them will eat ammonia, and other will eat nitrite, and then they simply convert to nitrate, and that's it. They simply convert. They convert the oxygen. You give oxygen to to this um, the, this this power plant, this converter plant. You give oxygen. This does give you oxygen, and it, everything is okay. That's how they work. And some of them can convert carbonates on the ground, on the soil, to CO2. After some plants releases some chemicals making contact with bacteria, that in some of this bacteria will release CO2 from the ground, from carbonates, in order for the plant to use it. This this is pretty cool. And well, I think maybe those bacteria you can harm you some way, putting CO2 inside your body. I don't know how, and you can prepare those bacteria in a laboratory and compact them in 1 gram quantity to artificially harm a person, and mix them with some soil and eat those things, and it will pop out a lot of CO2 inside you, like something like that. Or like anthrax, which is a bacillus, which I don't know much, but well,
Mhm.
it exists. The anthrax exists, and I don't believe it's possible to become harmed by anthrax in a natural way. Well, I think Brief stated a lot about intoxication, natural intoxication by bacteria. I don't know if the Brief Shadows really believes it's impossible to be killed by bacteria, but I'm pretty sure he believes it's not possible in a natural way. That's why what I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but I can feel, I can become more sure day by day, my sure about that day by day. Um, what about anthrax? Well, you can
Yeah.
those anthrax attacks is made with lots of quantity of bacteria which was generated, which was not generated. I know I forgot the word in English. Were cultivated in laboratory, and you put
Yeah.
lots of those bacteria in a single place, and you just throw it in case the person opens, and it will go to the air, and lots of quantity of anthrax enter in the person, and maybe those anthrax will convert lots, will eat lot of person, a lot of the person's cells, lots of some substances on the body of the person, and generates toxins, because some bacteria, as we know, bacteria are chemical converters, and they can convert something not so harmful to something more harmful, which some bacteria does. Some bacteria can convert nitro oh, uh,
Ammonium nitrate.
nitrogen on the
Yeah.
air. NO, what's NO? I forgot, sorry. Nitric oxide, nitric.
Oh yeah.
I know NO2,
Uh,
I forgot if it's NO2 or NO, which is normally in the air. N2 or N2.
mhm.
I think it's
What?
N2. some bacteria
Oh,
can convert into ammonia in order to plants to use, because plants and algae, some plants and algae love ammonia. And ammonia is maybe is the most compact form for plants to use, the most compact form. When you don't have oxygen, you have lots of ammonia. In ammonia, under the soil, you don't have much oxygen, and you have ammonia, and the plants will eat ammonia. That's how it happens. And when you have oxygen on top of the soil, on top of the soil you have oxygen, and then lots of aerobic bacteria are eating the ammonia that are on top. So the top isn't toxic because it won't have much ammonia, but the underground will be a somewhat toxic. That's I think that's pretty beautiful. I think that's pretty beautiful. But anyway, those ammonia can kill. Can, you can be well if you put lots of those this bacteria inside you and you breathe the nitrogen, because you are breathing nitrogen. 80 I think 80% of
yeah,
the air,
80% of the.
you know it's N2. And well, if you can be intoxicated with ammonia if you put lots of this bacteria inside you. I believe you can be killed by this bacteria. Well, but it's not natural. Nobody has this amount of carrots or carrot roots bacteria inside your body, because you are not a carrot. You are not a carrot. You are not a
Yeah.
potato. So you won't have this much bacteria inside yourself because you don't have potato roots structure in your body. So you are not the terrain for this bacteria. You are not the terrain for this bacteria. But bacteria are not interested in you, and these bacteria will ignore you completely, because you don't have anything to give to give to them. You don't have the terrain for them to work. That's pretty interesting. And well, about harmful bacteria, I know some. We have a lizard, the most dangerous lizard, which is very big, a Komodo dragon. I was
Oh yeah.
asking about Komodo dragon, brief about Komodo dragon, and he refused to explain me. But I didn't become much angry, just a little bit, but I was reasoning enough to remember that he wanted me to learn everything myself, because if something someone wants to learn, the person will learn itself, will search for the information itself. And he was refusing to ignoring my question about Komodo dragons, and
Oh,
I I just found that maybe he has lots of bacteria on his tongues, and it has lots of toxins. Maybe those bacteria are generating those toxins, and lots of toxins, or there are a lot of bacteria that lives on his tongue, and when he bites the person, he throws lots of bacteria. Bites another animal, he throws lots of bacteria on the person. This bacteria makes some toxic conversions. And well, I'm open if someone wants to show me that those Komodo dragon moth bacteria can kill, indeed can kill a person. But it's interesting to note that you need a Komodo dragon, and you need a Komodo dragon biting a person, and you need a terrain in order for this bacteria to grow, because you don't have Komodo dragon bacteria inside your mouth. Why? Why the hell those bacteria will only grow on this animal's mouth? Why this happens? Because his mouth is, well, have something that those bacteria likes. Those bacteria grow a lot on his mouth, but those bacteria are not interested in growing in your body. And you know those bacteria will die shortly after entering contact with you. They will not live inside you. They will, it will go away because you don't have the terrain like a
Yeah,
plant.
right.
The terrain theory